Here, Manning stepping up, and he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
Hi there, I'm Arch, and I'm pretty sure you're wondering, how in the world did he get himself into this predicament? Well, give me a minute, and I'll explain. But first,
give me my theme music!
another Zagnet production, Jones. Mr. Fingaz. Collin from the DMV. Go Dawgs. Yeah. Let's go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
boys and girls. Did you like that? Did you like that?
that was all right. That was all right. That was all right.
Yeah, no. Yeah, hey, look, I bet Sark got him like this, and I bet Sark got him like this in practices.
Will you ever quit?
No! We want some more! We want some more! We want some more!
We lost them all. Oh yeah, that was good stuff, man.
I couldn't resist, brother. I mean, it was the talk of the town. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all for tuning in to this week's edition of This Week in UGA Football. I am Mr. Fingaz coming to you live from the 405 where the wind it's just kind of lollygagging right now because fall is on its way and comes whipping around the plane. And that guy right there, he is the sexy mother Hubbard, the brother from another, the ace of base in the place, in your face. Collin P from the DMV. How you doing, baby?
Hey, dude, I'm doing good. Week one under our belt, my friend. Week one under our belt, and it was.
I know, right?
It was a good week for us. Can't say it for the other two other SEC teams, but hey, football's back, baby, full swing.
Yes,
I'm doing
it
good.
is. It is indeed. As a matter of fact, there were only two other teams in the conference that lost, and we're going to talk about them both at some point during this broadcast. But first, hold on. What the hell? Okay, I'm not even dealing with this. This mouse is horrible. I got to be careful what I say though, because it'll mess around and log me off for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now I got it. I'm trying to find some here, but but first of all, we're going to talk about our guys, the Dawgs, who played. Yes, they played Marshall. Yes, Marshall is they are in what are they, group of four now? They're in the group of four. Is that right? No, not group of four. They're Sun Belt. They're in the Sun Belt. Yeah, but so let's get into it real quick. Usher, could you lead us into this segment, please? All right, that's enough for you, sir. He tried to do it 2 times. The Dawgs face off against Marshall. Here's what I saw. Last year we won our opening game. I forget who it was that we played to open the season last year, but we did not look dominant. It took a while for the offense to get going. It's been well documented about the drop passes, Carson Beck looking unsure of himself, questions about whether or not he was a leader in the locker room, blah, blah, blah. We won, but it took like a quarter and a half to get the offense going, and then they really got it going in the third quarter. This team, fresh out the gate, straight out the gate, all gas, no brakes for 3 quarters, and then they pulled the starters with the final score of 45-7. What were your initial thoughts on this game, bro?
Dude, I mean, I was happy. I mean, like you just said, it was what Kirby wanted to do, and what we always want to do is go get a quick start out the gate, and it looks like like you said, all gas, no brake. I was, granted we had problems catching the ball last year. We've done Branch. I was impressed by him. He was a dog. I mean, he was out there. He was flying around. He was catching everything thrown at him. I say catching everything thrown at him. He had 3 receptions, but I mean, had 95 yards on that. Those 3 receptions.
That's the part right there.
And and I think I threw out a stat at you the other night that I believe 2 other receivers, I think, had 90 yards, and it took him 3 games to get over 90 yards in a game, and Zach did it in his first game. So I mean that's very that's reassuring. Let's put it that way. And then Gunner, man, he did some good things. I mean, I don't want to hand him the Heisman just yet or hand him any kind of accolades yet, but he looked good, and you can tell he was a dog too. So he was out there running, and he tucked the ball and he would take off. And granted, like I said, all these things are good. Defense looked pretty good, but again, we got to preface it by saying, preface it by saying this is Marshall. It's not an SEC team, so I mean they did good with the bad, and enjoy the good, but a tougher test is on the way. So we'll have to see what happens. So, but I was, and even when Ryan Puglisi was in there, he looked pretty good. He was 5 of 8, 59 yards and a touchdown. So
and that's the thing that, like I said, that was most encouraging to me is that the offense came out firing on all cylinders. It didn't. Remember growing up, and I don't know what kind of car you had when you got your license, if you had one. I know my very first car was an old beat up hatchback, and it would crank, and you would have to let it run for a little bit before the engine got good and warmed up before you could drive it, because otherwise you just put. And that's how Georgia's offense was for a good majority of the first part of the season last year. This year, in this game, and yes, again, I know for those of you that are going to try and take away from it and say, well, it was only Marshall. Listen, that was the problem. That was problematic last year when we played teams like Marshall and Austin Peay. We sputtered coming out of the gate, and it just seemed like it took forever for the offense to catch up. And the saving grace for us was the defense was still doing some semblance of what it was supposed to do. I mean, you had Dirty Dan back there laying lumber. So that was very, very exciting for me. And something else that was exciting for me, Oscar Delp has finally been found. He's no longer, y'all can take him off the milk carton. I'm glad to see that young man back out there. I'm glad to see him out there on the field actually doing something now. He only got a couple of tosses his way for 33 yards, but he looked very sure of himself. He was sure to bring the ball in. I say it again, man. I don't know. I think maybe part of it was maybe Carson was feeling himself a little bit, and folks in the locker room didn't want to get on board with the program, whatever it may call it. But I mean, he tossed the ball around, and you can afford to do that in a game like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 different receivers.
And definitely I want to give a shout out to Ulysses Williams. That boy's from my hometown, Folkestone, Georgia, Charlton County High School, scored his first touchdown. First game, his freshman, first reception for 23 yards and his first touchdown. So shout out Georgia, shout out Charlton County Indians, folks in Georgia.
Very nice, very nice. And then the defense had a total of 6 tackles for loss. It looks like 6 tackles for loss, no sacks, surprisingly. But I mean, the defense is like we talked about. This defense is a rebuild in progress because we don't have a lot of. You got to get back into the secondary, deep in the secondary, to have any senior type leadership. So. But they looked good as well. They did exactly what they were supposed to do against.
And to your point, man, it's like you were saying, like getting us having trouble getting out of the gate. It seemed like I think we had a discussion on this. Like we tend to play to our opponent, play to our opponent's strength, or not to their strengths, but to their we played to their their energy. I guess I should say. You know what I mean?
Right.
for lack of a better word.
If they brought energy, we brought energy. If they played lackluster, we played lackluster.
Exactly. We'd match their energy, basically what I was saying. Match their energy, yeah.
This definitely looked more like the 2021 Dogs that came out and was like, nah, we're gonna beat you. We're gonna beat you in the ground. Now, I want to see what comes when we get a little deeper into the season. But right now, I will take this win. I will take it 100% straight, no chaser. I'm just pulling up the schedule to see who we got. I know we got Austin P on the schedule next. I'm trying to look for. All right, so yeah, so in 2 weeks we got Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I want to see what it looks like when they get down to Neyland. I want to see what it looks like when Bama comes to Sanford. Speaking of Bama.
That's a good segue.
Shouts out to all of you that are here watching with us now, whether you're watching live or whether you're watching the replay. But definitely want to send a shout out to my boys. I've been shouting them out a couple of weeks now. That being Kangaroo Black and Piano Man of Long Run with the Piano Man 2 YouTube channels. If you are an SEC fan. Note I said SEC fan. You do not have to be a Bama fan, but you could be a fan of the SEC and check those guys out. We just gonna jump right into it. We know what happened here. Georgia showed up and did what they were supposed to do, and that's how it went. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. All right, we just gonna segue. Imagine. Remember in school when you had the bully, and the bully would tell you at 3:00 after school, I'm beating you up. We gonna meet in the alley behind school, we gonna fight.
Yeah.
And all day you had to think about what that bully was gonna do to you. Or on the flip side, if you knew you could fight and you was gonna scrub the floor with the bully, you weren't worried about it. Thomas Castellanos. They don't have Nick say that listen, if he does nothing else all season, that will be the Jets will win the Super Bowl, I guarantee it moment for the remainder of his days. Because remember when the Jets played who were they playing? Who did the Jets play? Was it the Colts?
I don't know.
They weren't supposed to be, I think it was the Colts. They weren't supposed to beat the Colts. The Colts were to slap you upside the head. This was the modern day, a modern day equivalent would be Tom Brady and the Patriots versus the New York Giants. The Giants weren't supposed to win that game. Joe Namath said, I guarantee it, and backed it up. Thomas Castellanos said, they got nothing for me. And when he showed up, I'm not even gonna lie, I drank the Kool-Aid myself. Oh man, this boy go get it. Does he not know they just went 2-10 last season? This was not the greatest season in the history of Florida State books. You talking about an Alabama team that nobody transferred? Kalen DeBoer brought in his boy from out in the West Coast. Man, they getting ready to wipe the floor with this dude. Where is he? Where? How come they scored again? Why Bama not tackling? What's going on? So anyway. I'm rambling. The long and short, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been living under a rock, for the last 9 days, Alabama, the mighty Alabama Crimson Tide goes down 17-31 to the Florida State Seminoles. Heck of a way.
That's got to be. He said they don't have Saban anymore. He said I don't see them stopping me, and he was right. He had 16 carries for 78 yards and a touchdown, and he just was running all over them. But and I don't know if you're going to go there, but it seems like with what you sent me on the group chat, the whole revamp or renovation of Saban's office looking like a Verizon phone store or T-Mobile store or whatever. But maybe the culture.
I forgot about that.
Maybe the culture is making a turn for not so pleasant future. But I don't know, because there was pictures also of players out on the field during warmups with their phones and stuff. So I don't know how how you could possibly how the culture You know, that the program that was actually deculture or supposedly deculture has let that happen. So I mean, I don't know. That's either here nor there. I don't know. I just saying what I see.
Well, we're talking about a program that was built, a program that was literally built on the foundation of Bear Bryant and that hat that he never went anywhere without his hat. That Bear Bryant, that I'm gonna run you guys until you puke, and then you're gonna run some more. That kind of culture right there. Then, you know, he retired, and then they had a few light years, and then Nick Saban came in and said, "I'm bringing back what Bear Bryant had here. I want to bring the glory back to Alabama," and he did.
And he did
In grand fashion. He was a no nonsense. You could tell when he got on the microphone, he was very professional. He's very straightforward. He's very well spoken. But you could also tell from watching the games and seeing him rip off his headphones and go to looking like he was getting ready to crash out on the sidelines. That
one game. What was that game with him and Muschamp were going off at the same time? I can't remember who. I think it was AJ McCarron. They were going off with AJ McCarron. I can't remember who they were playing though. But they were just both jumping and just screaming at him. And but anyway,
yeah, I mean that not a guy to be taken lightly, and he commanded his respect. Now, it looks like Collin has brought some of the West Coast philosophy to Tuscaloosa, and we know how Tuscaloosa fans feel about that team. We don't want these guys to be zen. We want these guys knocking heads on Saturday. I mean, the defense couldn't tackle.
Oh yeah.
The defense couldn't tackle and the offense couldn't block. I mean, I think Riley was supposed to be their stud running back this year. He got 31 whole yards on 5 attempts.
Well, I mean, Ty Simpson didn't have a bag. I mean, well, he threw 50%, 54 yards and 2 touchdowns. But I mean, still, you know, not much help. Not much help anywhere else.
No, not at all. Not at all. As a matter of fact, it's not like. And the bad thing about this beating is that it's not like Castellanos lit the scoreboard up. He only threw for 152 yards. And he had half of that with his feet on the ground and a touchdown. He did not throw a single touchdown.
No.
He did not throw a single touchdown the entire game, but he said, they've got nothing for me. And he had those guys looking like when Neo level 8 the sensu bean and leveled up and then went Super Saiyan on all the Sentinels.
Yeah,
he was just running away from people, literally breaking ankles and things like that. It's just
dude. Usually that's like bullet board material, but I mean that was bullet board material for their team for Florida State. I mean it was just I don't know, dude. I mean it was a shocker. I mean it was a shocker to me. I think it was a shocker to everybody else, but I mean it really was a shocker to me. That's just crazy.
3 sacks and 7 total tackles for loss. I mean, saving grace is that Simpson didn't throw any interceptions. He did manage to get a couple of TDs. So it's not like he's not serviceable quarterback, but he is definitely he's got some work to do. He is not his predecessors. He's not Milroe. He's not Jalen.
Right.
He's not Tua. He's not any of those guys. So,
but hey, you know. They couldn't stay at the top forever. I mean, they coming back.
Yeah, and they wound up falling. Did they fall to number 8? Are they still at number 8?
20. They're still in the top 20. They're at 20. What are they? Shit, I can't remember.
Okay, they're still in the top 25. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it's still top 25.
That's what that is. But yeah, that was not a good look for Alabama. Not a great way to start the season. I mean, we play them in 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm looking for. I'm so used to at work. My calendar's on this side of me. I immediately looked over here looking for a calendar. We play them in
it's
just
the 27. So I guess that's 3 weeks.
Yeah,
27. But
I mean,
they're home, baby.
Yeah, they're playing between the hedges. Got the Bama fans like this right now.
Ain't nobody worried about no Georgia.
Yeah. So that you had that game. Let's see here. That's our schedule. I don't need to see our schedule. We've already been over that. And then another game here. This one actually turned out to be a good game. It turned out to be a good game. Depending on what side of the ball you look at it from, it was definitely a defensive struggle because neither quarterback really balled out, and it wasn't a high-scoring game. But our dear friends, the Tigers from the Bayou of LSU, have finally broken the opening weekend losing streak by beating and defeating the Clemson Tigers, the Clemson Tigers by a score of 17-10, and they did it in Clemson Death Valley.
Yeah,
what you thinking about that one?
Yeah, this was I did like this game. That's my. I mean, I'd hate to see I think he left a lot out on the field, but I mean, he did pretty well. 28 at 38, 232 yards and a touchdown. It was a back and forth. Didn't look like it was nobody did too much of like anything outstanding, but I mean, it was just a slobber knocker with back and forth. But a testament to LSU to finally pull one out and then Death Valley. So, but yeah, what you got on this?
Well, not only that, man. Here's the kicker. LSU has always been a competitive team, but there's been a gradual decline in their defensive strength since since the year of Joe Burrow. Gradual decline in their defensive prowess, to the point where you knew that they were going to drop at least 3 games a year minimum. By the time Brian Kelly came along, I mean, they got rid of Coach O, but by the time Brian Kelly came along, it was like he can't get past 9, 10 wins a season because they're going to drop one somewhere in a bad way defensively. I don't know where they went. I don't know if they went online and they bought it out of a catalog, but LSU's defense was on it. LSU's defense had Klubnik looking like Cade Klubnik. Remember Cade Klubnik about 2 seasons ago? And we said, this kid might not make it. And then he had that fantastic season last year. He came into this game very highly touted. This was supposed to be a shootout. And he was running a lot, but it was sideline to sideline. It wasn't up and down the field.
Mm-hmm.
And he still managed to get, 230 yards out of it, but nothing really impressive. But LSU, shouts out to LSU for pulling. I think, you know what? I think we called that one as a loss for LSU. So we're already if we were gambling, actually 0-2 because I had Bama beating Florida State too.
Oh yeah, me too. I think we saw pretty much bad on that one. But yeah, that LSU defense, they had 2 sacks. They had an interception. It looked like. So they had Klubnik on the move.
Yeah. Now we got to move. We're going to move on to the next one. We can't skip this one just because this is our. You know what? I don't care if it's all one conference now. They did away with the divisions. Our SEC rival, our SEC East rival, the Florida Gators, 55-0. Of course, when you're playing something called the Long Island University Sharks, I did not even know. Bro, did you know that there was a Long Island University?
I had no idea. I had no idea there was a Long Island University.
I did not either.
No clue.
Well, I put it to you like this:
they only beat them 55-0.
They beat them 55-0. Not only did they beat them 55-0, they held them to 48 yards passing between 3 different quarterbacks. And they only what was it? Their total yardage. They did not get over 100 yards. They had 37 yards rushing and 49 yards passing for a grand total of 86 yards of offense completely. Now, on the flip side of that coin, I think that Florida's stats they're not gaudy, but that's because, I mean, hell, you're stopping them short, making them go 4 and out. So Lagway didn't even really play that much. He only threw 18 passes for 120, but he had 3 touchdowns. So he looked good. He looked good. He just if he can stay healthy, and then leading.
I was gonna say that's your peeve on him.
Yeah,
is the injury bug. So
yeah, dude. But it's been a trend, man. Look, I'm telling you, AR, tell me. Boo Boo, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to tell me when the last time was Anthony Richardson had a complete season without getting injured. Don't worry, I'll wait.
Yeah, well,
And then now you got Lagway, so they're handling him with kid gloves. But we did have they leaned heavily on the run. Jaden Baugh had about 104 yards rushing, then 24 yards, near 200 total between 8 rushers. Lagway being one of them. He had 3 rushes for 3 yards, and then 251 yards passing, and 5 touchdowns between an entire host 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm not even counting anymore. About 14, 15 receivers. So congratulations to the Gators. The Gators are Let's see who the Gators have on deck next. Are they going to play They're going to play a real team, or are they going to play another cupcake like us? No disrespect intended. Just that. Oh no, South Florida is no slouch. That might be one definitely worth watching. That is this coming Saturday. Huh?
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's gonna be a game. That's definitely gonna be a game.
Which is in 3 days. This is going to be Saturday afternoon at 3:15 p.m. and they're going to be playing in Gainesville. Yeah, they're going to be playing in Gainesville. But after that, they got a little stretch going. They got LSU, Miami, Texas. All 3 looking good. Texas A&M, who has the capacity to beat them. Mississippi State. Then Georgia. But, I'm not going to rehash that because we already did our predicts for the game for the conference. So shouts out.
Just to let you know, South Florida played Boise State. Remember, we watched that game this weekend. So
yes,
they pretty much put the beat down. Put the beat down.
Yeah, they did.
Or was it a turnover thing?
Boise State. We now know that the entirety of Boise State's offense rests squarely on the shoulders of one Ashton Genty. And they miss him greatly. They probably sent him a "we miss you" package.
Yeah,
we miss you. Good luck in the league.
I was just mentioning that South Florida has a potential, like depending on Lagway's, injury or ability.
As long as if he stays healthy throughout the game, they have a good chance of winning that one. But USF is not anybody they're not one to be. Yeah, they're not one. Yeah. They're not ones to be trifled with. Moving on to the next game, the Rebels of Ole Miss handily, no pun intended, dispatched the Georgia State Panthers 63-7. Austin Simmons, who came in as Austin Simmons came in at the 20 of 31 for 341, average 11 yards. He threw, but he also threw 3 touchdowns, but he also threw 2 picks. 295 yards rushing altogether between 8 different rushers, with Logan Diggs and Kawan Lacey both having over 90 yards apiece carrying the ball, and 4 touchdowns between the 2 of them. 400 yards passing and 4 touchdowns to their receivers. Georgia State did manage to get a touchdown in the second quarter, which was scored thrown by their quarterback, Christian Viu, to Javon Robinson. Nice little 50. I wouldn't say 52, but he had 3 receptions for 50 yards. But a nice little. No, I take that back. That would be a 43-yard touchdown he threw. But this kid, Austin Simmons, I wanted to touch on him. That's the reason why I highlighted them. Did you know Austin Simmons already has his college degree?
I did see that. He's 19 years old, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? He's 19. Yeah. I did see that. Yeah. Like he's not the only. I mean, like I don't want to take away his shine, but I mean, like there's a couple players in there that get that degree real quick. There's a couple in Georgia.
Here's his thing. While he was in high school, he got college. He was taking college credits at Miami-Dade. So he had his associates before he finished high school, and then he just finished his bachelor's 4 months ago.
Shout out to that dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, so he's right now. I guess if he redshirted, I reckon if he redshirt, yeah, he did redshirt his freshman year. So he's a redshirt sophomore who's already finished. Like, he's finished his college degree, and he's still got 2 more seasons in football that he could play and make money while he's at Ole Miss, and then potentially get drafted. And he looked absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing else to talk about here. It was a blowout by a lot. They doubled him up. They doubled him up. They quintupled him up, and then they turned around and added 4 more for good measure. Congratulations to Ole Miss Rebels on a game well fought, well won.
The lane train cometh. The lane train cometh.
Yeah. Now there were some other games on the slate for the SEC. Not that they're not all important. We love the SEC, but we just want to touch on some of these, and then we'll roll back around to what we think we can expect when Georgia plays Tennessee. Not to skip over Austin Peay. We don't want to overlook them, but we want to talk about that. But those of you that are watching the show, if you were watching from the very beginning, there was a very interesting video at the beginning of our beginning of our broadcast. There was a lot of hype. There was a lot of hype over this game. I still can't figure out why, but there was so much hype over Texas, Ohio State. I don't think it had anything to do. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that Texas was ranked number 1, and despite the fact that they were playing. The team that they were playing, the Ohio State Buckeyes, is the returning national champions. But they were ranked at 3. Maybe it was because it was an early kick on a Saturday at the Shoe in Columbus. I don't know. Maybe it's just because Matthew McConaughey standing on the sidelines with the Longhorns. And Steve Sarkisian is a great coach. Or maybe a group of reporters decided to get together and crown Arch Manning the Heisman favorite weeks before the season started. And then we already know by now, if you don't know who the kid is and why he's famous, shame on you. You carry a supercomputer in your pocket. Oh, look, it's us. That's this broadcast right now. You got one of these in your pocket. You can look it up, or you can do your tablet, or you can talk to your Alexa or whatever it is that you have and figure out that information. Famous uncles, famous granddad. Dad got hurt, would have been a phenomenon, but an athlete also. There you go. There you have it. He just did not. I mean, he still outperformed. If you want to look at the stat line, he outperformed Julian Sand. But the black mark was the interception. But he couldn't run. He couldn't run. He could barely pass. And when he did try to take off and run, they wrapped him up and kept him contained. Wound up losing 7-14 in front of God and everybody else on national television for the big kickoff game of the day. So what are your thoughts on this, sir?
Yeah, I've got several. I mean, I do feel bad for the kid, man, because I mean, like, it's undue pressure, number one, and I don't understand why. And not only him, I don't understand why Texas was number 1 anyway. Like you said, Ohio State was reigning the returning champ, national champ, the defending champ, and I don't know. And then Texas normally touted the king of the SEC, and we beat them twice, and this kind of stuff. I don't know. Just don't know. I don't understand like what you were saying, the whole significance by this, but yeah, I mean, it sucks for him because I mean, like, he can't even not only to mention his name, he's got the name attached to him, so he can't get away from that. Not he's trying to, but then he's got all this other stuff. They're already crowning him, and it reminds me of the coach from Louisville going to crown his ass, crown him. But I mean,
you're talking about the late Denny Green when he was in Arizona.
Yeah, crown that. But yeah, it's yeah, like you said, I tend to agree with what you said about the group of reporters getting together, and since this Manning, we're gonna put him at number 1 with Texas, and he's gonna be the Heisman. We saw what happened with Carson Beck last year about the Heisman front runner garbage. They tried to shove down our throat last year. So
I'm gonna say it again. They need to just go ahead and hold that until between week 4 and week 6. About week 4, week 6. By then. And the week 6 is a little more realistic because by then If you got cupcakes on your schedule, you've already played them. If you and now you've not pads with your conference rivals, and now we see what you are made of. And at that point, then you can get a more accurate thing. I think this whole thing was just it seemed. I won't say I think it was, but it definitely seemed like they were setting this whole thing up to be this big Arch Manning weekend. And if he had won, they would have continued to they'd still be gushing about him right now.
Yeah,
Mr. Manning.
I agree.
Mr. Manning.
I, totally.
I feel funny calling you Mr. Manning since I'm old enough to be your pop, but I'm gonna go ahead and say it, Mr. Manning. We don't dislike. We do not dislike you. Do not let any of our commentary think that we dislike you. It's just that you're getting talked about a lot, and I know you're getting talked about a lot because of who you're related to, and we just want to see. We want to see it. Us old heads, we're the kind of guys that like to see it before. You know what I'm saying? Like when on the Game of Thrones, somebody showed up and said they were the rightful heir, and then they had to. Well, what makes you the rightful heir? And then they and blah blah blah. King of the Andals and the first men, and slew 700 dire wolves and 3 dragons at Craster's Keep, and blah blah blah. So we just want to see it.
It ain't a good look when your older brother. It ain't a good look when your older brother tells you, just verbally just says he's adopted.
Dude, I think that was AI I did, but that was pretty funny.
I don't think so. I think that was real.
It did sound like him though. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just gonna say this, man. Look, we want to see you. We want to see you fly. We want to see you succeed. But we gotta see it first.
Yeah.
I'm not. No, I'm not from the state of Missouri, but I still want you to show and prove.
Yeah, no, I mean, hey, I mean, all the best to him. I mean, like you said, no animosity, no. I'm not trying to be like, be down on him, but I mean, like it's unfortunate, it's unfair, really, for him to have all this kind of pressure. But I mean, that's his name. He's got to be used to it. It probably is, but I mean, it sucks that you got that kind of attention attached to you so early, and having these things kind of already handed to you, but you haven't, really achieved them, in the rightful way.
Yeah.
But
now, to their credit, they get a little bit of a break next few games because their next 3 games are in no particular order: UTEP, San Jose State, and San Houston. I mean, in order. I'm sorry, San Jose State, UTEP, and then San Houston, and then they take on Florida at a time to be determined.
Wow, dude, they got 3. They got 3 of those, 3 in a row.
Yeah, back to back, and they're playing them all. They're playing them all at home, so they're playing in Texas for those 3 games. So they'll have time to pick it back up, or maybe what? I'm not even going to get into that. I don't even want to be a conspiracy theorist. Meanwhile, Texas is taking on HBCU, legendary HBCU program, Grambling. That is where the late Eddie Robinson, who, to my knowledge, is still the winningest coach in football history. Maybe somebody just passed him. Where we got Doug Williams from, the first African American to play in and win in the Super Bowl as the field general for the then Washington Redskins back in the 80s over the Denver Broncos. But let's see, they're taking on Grambling, they're taking on Ohio, they're taking on Washington, and those next 2 games are at the Shoe, and then they travel to the West Coast to Washington. Time to be determined. So I think both of them will be all right. I'm just sticking with what I know. I'm looking at Texas to probably come out of that 3 cupcake stretch. Not knocking your schedule, just saying I'm looking for Texas to come out of that 3 cupcake stretch with 3 wins. What about you?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, that's it's kind of odd that they put 3 of those. Well, I mean, I don't know how they schedule whatever, but I mean, they put those 3 all in back to back like that. But yeah, I got them going. I mean, that's going to be their only loss within the next 4 games. I mean, they'll be 3-1 after Washington, and then they go what was it, Minnesota, and then Illinois,
Washington. Yeah,
that's Ohio State. Yeah, yeah.
In other games of note, Missouri literally beat the brakes off of. I just had it pulled up. Where did it go?
Missouri.
That was on Thursday. Missouri beat the brakes off of Central Arkansas 61-6. The quarterback Pribula had 283 yards, 2 touchdowns on 28 attempts. Their running back had exactly 100 yards and a touchdown, and their leading receiver caught 5 receptions, 134 yards and a touchdown. Congratulations to them. Auburn beat Baylor, looked halfway decent doing it. That scored there 38-24. They played at Baylor. Let's see who else we got. Oh, I can't talk about football while sitting in Oklahoma and not give some love to our fellow SEC compatriots, the Sooners of Oklahoma, the great state of Oklahoma, who played at home and wiped the floor with Illinois State 35-3. Texas A&M manages to beat UTSA. I said managed like it was even close. It was 24-42. We talked about Tennessee winning 45-26. Mississippi State beats Southern Miss. Kentucky beats Toledo. Arkansas wins big over Alabama A&M 52-7. Alabama A&M remix. Alabama A&M actually a very a good squad. A good squad. They'll bounce back once they get back over in their conference. And then last but certainly not least, Diego Pavia and the Commodores of Vanderbilt beat Charleston Southern 45-3. And the Gamecocks of South Carolina beat the Hokies 24-11. So not a bad weekend all in all for the SEC, with the exception of a couple of schools who I think will be turning that around and making people, I mean, they won't forget it readily, but I don't think they'll be talking about it as much coming out of the end of week 4. And that's what we got. That's what we got there. So that my question for you, brother, is what exactly are we looking to see when we square up against Tennessee? It's never an easy game to win in Neyland. Never.
No,
we've been able to do so, but it's never easy to win a game in Neyland. Not ever really knowing what to expect. And when you get down there, I mean, the crowd is just as much a factor as the team you're playing against when you're playing at Neyland. So far, Joey Aguilar looked a little bit like the real deal. 247 on 28 attempts for 3 touchdowns. Now, again, they didn't, they weren't playing the heavyweight champion of the world. But what are some things that we're going to needing to look at doing in order to win this game? Keys to the game. Georgia wins if what?
Well, Georgia wins if what? Defense can contain Aguilar. I mean, like you said, the Syracuse, he had some big numbers, decent numbers against Syracuse, and if we could, kind of force him to make some bad decisions. I mean, I haven't really seen our defense look pretty good this past weekend, but I mean, we really haven't been tested. I don't think. I mean, because it was Marshall, obviously, but we'll get a better look at it against Tennessee when we play them. But I would say we win if we contain Aguilar and if our secondary, contains the receiving core. Because I mean, Braylon Staley again, they're playing Syracuse, but he had 4 receptions for 95 yards, and so he'd be one to look at. And then Star Thomas, in the backfield, he had 92 yards. So I would say our defense would be the key. Then again, we've also got to score. We got to score when we have the football. So cut down turnovers or no turnovers if possible, and then run the rock, and then hopefully we can get Zach Thomas the ball and get Deb the ball, and get Williams and get all our receiving core get the hands on the ball, like Gunner spread the ball around, which I like and is nice to see always. So Gunner does that like Sequavius does that. Carson did that too, so it worked out well. So that's
for me, it's about defense and coming up with big stops. It's nice that we can come up with those big stops against the Marshall. It's nice that we can come up with those big stops against a school of that nature. But we're gonna have to make sure that we're able to make those same stops against Tennessee, against an Alabama, we're gonna have to play Ole Miss again this year. I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have to play Ole Miss. I know we did the schedule. I know we did our schedule a couple of days ago, but I've slept since then, so we're just going to pull that back up here.
We play Ole Miss after over.
Yeah. So Georgia has got on their schedule, just to recap. Come on, there we go. Austin Peay this coming weekend in Tennessee, then Bama, Kentucky, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida, Mississippi State, Texas. That is a heck of a stretch. 2, 4, 6, 8 straight SEC games, 8 straight in conference games. So
1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There's five ranked teams, 5 top 25 teams too.
Yeah, and there may be more by the time we get, into the thick of it. You know what? Is it me or does Ole Miss not really get in respect? Do you think 20 being ranked 20 is a fair ranking for Ole Miss? I mean, yeah, they managed to somehow or another gum up the works and lose more than have a 3-loss, 4-loss season.
Yeah, for right now though, I agree. For right now, I mean they should be higher than 20. But I mean at the same point, like you just said, they're gonna they're probably gonna give away like 2 or 3, which is crazy to me. But yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. If nothing else, he's brought that program back into I won't say high prominence, but at least fans know they're going to win at least a minimum of 9 games a season.
Yeah, and he's taking the place of old ball coach, which is quite comical. I mean, I used to hate Lane Kiffin. Now I begin to like him, it's just because of his comic relief. You know what I mean? His tweets.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Get your popcorn ready. It's still my favorite to this day. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think we've managed it, bro. We kind of hit it on the head tonight. We 3 shows in a row, we've managed to come in and hit it and quit it. We've hit all of our talking points. I know at this point in the show, we normally do we talk about something near and dear to us, or maybe we tell a joke or something like that. But at this point, brother, I think it's good for us to just tell the people's good night and go get some rest, because I know me and you have been burning the candle at both ends and in the middle.
Yeah. Got so many irons in the fire. Ain't got no place for the wood.
Yeah, you are not even lying, man. I mean, the show today, we're doing this show live tonight. I'm taping the show tomorrow. I don't know if I have to be the game that I'm doing. I don't know if I have to be there or not. It's not a home game, but I don't know if I might just have to happen to be there. And then this is the week that I go down and I do the load-ins on the songs from the karaoke catalog. So busy week, man, and still managing to put some gym time in there. Yeah. Oh wow, it's only 8:30. I'm gonna try and be in bed.
Hey man, I was just about to I was looking at the clock too. I was like, hey, about time for me and B man to go to bed. Like I'm going to sleep. I'm gonna take a nap till tomorrow.
Listen,
take a nap until tomorrow.
That's how you know when your mind. That's how you know when your mind has caught up with the same age that your body actually physically is. When you look at the clock and go, "Ooh, I could be in bed before 10 o'clock. If with any luck, I'll be asleep before 10.
Yeah, and usually you don't go out till about 11. When you're like 20 some years old, like, man, wait, you don't go out at 8. You don't go out at 9. You go out like 11, 11:30, midnight, 10 o'clock.
No, that was y'all. That was y'all. That was y'all. You know, I had to be at the bar at like 7 so I could eat dinner.
Well, yeah, you were early, man. But you're already primed up by the time I got there.
Don't give away no trade secrets. There was a time, ladies and gentlemen. There was a time, ladies and gentlemen, when I used to enjoy an adult beverage or multiple, and I've been sober now for pushing towards 11 years. But man, back in the day, wow. Congratulations. Yeah, I used to get down there. But you've been sober.
I haven't been sober, but I don't drink nearly as much as I used to. I mean, I just I'm hangovers, man.
Oh man, you don't drink nearly as much as you used to when you first got started. That one show where you had them cans.
Oh yeah. Well, that was because of nerves. That's what was funny is like about the third can. When I cracked that third can, you knew it was coming. I was coming with a thunder.
Oh God, man! I'm gonna have to go back and
dig
that one up. Oh man, we don't listen when you live on the internet. You don't have no dump button. I mean, I know it's YouTube or whatever, but I was like, look, I have the ability to mute me and him at any point in time. I was like, Okay.
Hey, oh man, that was so much fun. Though, so much fun. My
Oh my
man,
God.
dude,
Yeah,
we
brother.
gotta
Hey,
we gotta embrace the time while we got it, man. It's the first game, first week before we know it'll be over, and then it
yeah,
always
we
happens
do.
that way.
So yeah, definitely savor football fans, savor it and enjoy it because it was just week 0. Now we're getting ready to go into week 2. You see how quick that went by? And Michigan, you know what? Shouts out to speaking of our buddies, our podcast associates and friends that are Michigan fans. That being Ms. Kate Alverson of the Let's Talk Football, the Ladies Takeover,
Lose
and Mr. Alex Loosemore. He of restoring. I started to say restoring the roar. Um, Restoring the Roar, Let's Talk College Football, and there's another couple of other shows that he does as well. I think they both will be in town this weekend. I know that Kate is going to be here for the Michigan game, and I think Alex might be here as well. So I might have to try and finagle and figure out how to link up with them at some point.
Yeah, definitely. You get to see those guys. Tell them I said what's up. And
Yeah, if I get to see him, because the whole thing is, like I said, I got to go load up stuff Saturday evening, so I don't know.
Oklahoma plays. Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that. Oklahoma plays Michigan. Is that?
Yeah,
I mean, they didn't play him last year, did they?
no, they did not.
They did not. Is this? I mean,
I
it's like
don't
one
think so.
rare things, right?
I don't think so. You know what? I could be way off base here, but I don't think so.
I don't think they played him. Or I don't know. I mean, I've never really seen them. I don't know how many years it's been since they played him, but
No, they didn't. Not in football. They did in basketball.
yeah.
So, yeah. So this is a real big deal, and there's a huge Michigan fan contingent around here. I'm starting to find out that not everybody here is a Boomer Sooner. There are a lot of transplants, so there are a lot of people that grew up here, but their parents grew up someplace else, and they're fans of other teams. But dog, the number of people I see with the G on is amazing. I saw a guy.
Yeah.
I was leaving the gym the other day. He was on a treadmill. He had his G on, and I had my G on, and I pointed to mine and pointed to his, and went, "Go Dawgs!" He gave me the finger gun. Shoot you, you know. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's Texas. Oh, that could be OSU.
Dude, we were at Sam. We were at Shooter McGath. Now we were at Sam's Club here in Ashburn, and my folks were up here, and we were out with Brady, and we were stopping at a little concession thing and getting a hot dog or whatever. And there was a guy with a Georgia kind of like fishing hat, you know, the thing what's the hat that your boy Funny Man has on, the hat.
Oh,
and no fishing hat.
The bucket hat.
Yeah, the bug hat. Yeah, and it had a G on it. And then I was like, "Oh, what's up?" Can't remember where he was at. He was, I think he was around. I think he was in the service. I think he was in the Army, but he was down in Dahlonega. I think is where he was at, Dahlonega, Georgia.
Okay.
And but he had moved up here. I think he was in the service somewhere around here. I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I mean, like we're around. I mean, like we're definitely around. In every different state.
Yeah, for sure.
But I don't know if they're the bandwagon riders, but I mean, or the people that from. I always ask, are you from Georgia? I don't know bandwagon riders, but hey, it's all good, whatever. But
yeah, true.
Legit.
Home to the University of North Georgia. Didn't somebody that played? We're not gonna get into that. We'll talk another half hour. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to thank you so much for joining us tonight for this week's. There we go. Thank you so much. We will have content coming through. We'll have content coming through during the remainder of the week as things unfold. Maybe little nuggets of information that we've gotten. You'll see us pop up with some commentary during the day on Saturday. So definitely keep your eyes and ears tuned to this channel. And we do want to definitely thank you all because we see that you guys are telling friends to tell friends because we're seeing the increase we're definitely seeing the increase in engagement from you all. So appreciate you to our guys, Kevin and Nate, our guy from Big Nate Sports Talk. He's on all the time, every time. We appreciate you guys tuning in. There you go. Y'all get the pop pop. There we go. One more. Y'all get the air horn. We appreciate you. We're gonna get out of here. We'll catch you next time. So be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and until the next time, go Dawgs.
Go Dawgs.